Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with another episode of Blue Monday. This is going to be such a fun little sampler quilt and skill builder, right? Today I'm bringing you a block I like to call pumping weights, because it looks like two dumbbells crossed on top of each other. But if I called it dumbbells, people might be upset. So we're calling it pumping weights. And it's a really fast skill builder, and it shows you how to work with those 1-inch strips, right? So that you can make this block very, very quickly and very, very simply. And it works every time. It works every time. It's a good test of your 1/4-inch foot. But before we get into all that, I want to talk to you about our collab that's coming up. Now, there is Future Cat from New Zealand, Kelley from Kelley Quilts and Cruises, and Michelle from Bits and Pieces Quilting. We're all working together on a beautiful collab quilt, and it is just going to be stunning. We're filming this June 10th, so we're going to be having a meeting there on June 22nd. I'll be able to release dates, firm dates for you, but I'm excited because those blocks are just beautiful. And it's done round robin style, and the theme is community. So much fun, so much fun. Now, the other thing I want to announce to you before we get to our shout out is the So Yeah Brothers are running a charity quilt drive for the homeless people in Alaska. Now, the drive runs from June 15th to August 15th, and if you need more information from them, please go to their website or their YouTube channel. That will be in our show notes as well in there, so you got to access those show notes. There's lots of information in there, as well as the cutting instructions. Right now, the other thing is in there is our Facebook group, warm welcoming group. We're having so much fun doing fabric swaps and recipe exchanges and free pattern sites and all the rest of the stuff. And we're also have a virtual sewing room in Discord that's open 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's nonstop for the members of the group. Now, we also have the Zoom sew date, which is once a month, and it's usually the first Saturday of the month, but the dates are listed out there, so please bring what's inspiring you. Don't worry about bringing stuff that I've put out there. You bring whatever is inspiring you and whatever you're working on. I would love to see what you're working on, actually. And if you don't feel like sewing that day and you want to bring your knitting or your petty point, bring it. It's a fun place to come hang out for the day. I speak for free to quilting groups and quilt guilds. So if your guild or quilting group is looking for somebody to speak about using your scraps and making charity quilts, please mention my name. I'd be happy to talk to those groups. I have met so many very talented quilters in those groups, and I've seen so many lovely show and tell quilts. I can't believe the talent that's out there. It's amazing. It's just amazing to me. So one of the things though is I do it over Zoom, and I have a PowerPoint presentation. So if your guild or quilting group doesn't have a Zoom account, we do. So I think that's all I got. So come on in, let's get to the sewing here on pumping weights. Okay, we're at the sewing machine, and the first thing we're gonna do is take our 6.5-inch square that's in the middle here, right? And these are 1-inch strips that are 6.5 by 1.5, or 6.5 by 1 inch. And we are going to take this and cut it in half. And you're like, well, why didn't you do that in the first place? Because I had one big piece and I wanted to show you this. This thing measures 6.5-inch square right now. Okay, so I just made one cut. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it back here, and we're going to sew 1-inch strip in the middle of both of these, right? Now this, like I said, this is the hardest part. And this is where you can add a lot of, different little things going on in your blocks. And I thought, oh, this is a perfect little one. It's also a really good test for your 1/4-inch foot. It really is. So let's get this. And I'll just sew one of these together just to keep something under the foot. Okay. Now you're going to press to the dark. And now you're going to add the other side. Now you could add the other side so that it looks like a continuation, or you can, jumble them up or whatever you want. Let's say you had a cat that, you wanted to say have it looking through the mirror or whatever. Well, you could do that. I'm jumbling them a little bit, but that's okay. Okay. Now this, okay. You're going to press to the dark because this is one of the outside bits. This is the actual weight, right? Okay. So now, again, you're pressing to the dark, and you just have this little skinny line through here of dark, right? Just like that. Now that should measure 6.5 this way. And if your 1/4 inch foot is on the money like mine is, it's perfect. Now, you can always tell too, when you close this up and you press it really good, you don't see that dark. I mean, you can see the dark a little bit, but I mean, that's okay. So now I'm going to cut it again, 3 1/4 because it's 6.5. And we're just going to go whoosh like that. Okay, get this all out of the way. Okay, so now we're going to take the other dark strip, and we're going to sew it on to the caps. And I'm going to make sure I get good coverage. Here we do. And make sure I've got good coverage here. I'm going to make it so that that end meets. And we're going to let the feed dogs pull together any wonkiness, if there is any. There might be a little. Okay. You're going to press this one to the dark as well. Okay, let's get the other one here sewn on. Might as well. It's there. We can sew it on. So now we're pressing to the dark. There we go. And we're just... This is how people make the window pane blocks. And essentially that's what this is. You know, is a window pane block where they use just a 1-inch strip. And they put it into a square block and keep the block the same size, right? Because when you're doing that, oops, let's go this way. And this way, here. Okay, so now you're going to push that one like this. Get your ruler back if you can find it, because you sent it flying the other direction. And this is going to measure, should measure 6.5. So we're right on the money both directions. So yay! Okay, so now we're going to put this together. And this would go here. So let's get the rest of this sewn up here. Or sewn together here, because this comes together really quick. There. And there we go. Get these two sewn up and it'll be good. Oops, come on. All right. You want to push that to the dark. Press to the dark on this block. And I found this, I gotta tell you this. I had another print all figured out that was really bright, big scale that I could talk to you about, you know, using larger scale, when to use larger scale fabrics and when not to. And I cut the other fabric wrong. And I used all the other stuff up on it. And I didn't have any more to add. So I was like, okay, I guess I can't teach you that one. Talk to you about when to use larger scale stuff. You use small scale stuff when the piece, what's going to be showing is going to be very small, essentially, is what happens, right? And the larger scale stuff, you know, like this. This is not quite as large scale as the other one. The large scale stuff can be used when you have larger pieces showing. Now, there's an exception to every rule, right? We do an exception to every rule. Of course we do, you know, because that's the way it is, right? Okay, we're going to press up this way. Okay, and we get the other side of the weights on here. Okay, there we go. Now you want to make sure that that center lies kind of flat. You don't want it flipping. There we go. Okay, now. Okay. Now, we're going to just sew the top on and the bottom. So there's our block. So far, so good. Everything's coming together good. Yeah, so the other one I showed, I cut wrong. I didn't have any other extra ones. So I decided, yeah, cats would be good at pushing weight. You know, they have to stay in shape to push all the stuff off your tables and your countertops. Yeah, I know. Oh. Okay. Like I said, this one's just a fun block. I'm gonna have to put in fun blocks. What we're building here is a charity quilt, right? So we wanted it just a little bit more fun going on. Okay, so I'm just pressing out now, and I'm gonna go the other way. Okay. Alrighty, there we go. All that. And as we're going over this, we want that dark. We want to make sure it stays flat and the seams are going the right direction. And I'll flip it over. I'll show you the... Oh, hang on. I'll show you the layout for the ironing. Here, hang on. Okay, we are done sewing this. And... Okay. Alright, so here we go. I'm just going to finger press the dark. Now, you can't see that, you can hardly see that dark strips that we put in there on the front, right? Because they're gone. Because my 1/4 inch is pretty good. Now, this goes out this way, because that's where it's going to lay the flattest, right? And this, I just pressed out this way. So when you're taking it to your ironing board, you're going to try and lay this out so it's nice and flat, right? So now if you were doing an entire block of this or entire quilt of this, I would put like little sashing strips and cornerstones in just to make everything lie nice. And then you don't have to worry about where this is lying. Okay, let's get to our ta-da moment. Okay, so here's our cool little chevron block. Like I say, you could make an entire quilt out of this just using dark mediums and lights and go real scrappy if you want. And it would create a zigzag pattern. And this was a lot of fun to make this block. And you saw how fast it went together, right? So it is a doable one. And that flip and stitch technique is so quick and so much fun. It's great. Now some people would argue that the stitch and flip, I should have put the second one in and then I would have my bonus triangle right away. I'm not ready for that yet. I have got a couple of other things I got to do with some of those triangles, so we won't be doing that for a bit. So anyways, I do hope you give this one a try. This one was lots of fun to put together for you. And it does make a very interesting little, little wiggle in your quilt, okay? So you take care, and I hope life is treating you really good and everything is grand. Okay, you take care until we meet each other again. Bye! Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure in quilting. And, sometimes things don't work out as best they should, and sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I could share it with you. share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out, and it helps us make more charity quilts, okay? So you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again, okay? Bye!